Dennis Prager is an extremely popular conservative pundit. Some people love him.
Doesn't he look like a hot twink ready for your cum? Like, you know what I mean?
And other people hate him.
Racist, sexist, Republican. These words are virtually interchangeable.
But I'm not here to talk about his politics. In 2008, Dennis Prager wrote an article called "When a Woman Isn't in the Mood." It details what a man should do when his female partner isn't in the mood. And Dennis, as a, let's just say, experienced husband, has some interesting insight. So I dragged some friends. Thank you again, Agrada and FaZe. Yeah, that's what he wants me to call him, for helping me out on this one. And without further ado, let's go. So Agrada,
Yes.
you are a person who is not male, is that correct?
Yeah, I think that would be right.
And you've had to deal with a lot of men in the past before, correct?
Unfortunately, that would be true.
So today we're going to be reading a blog post by conservative talking head Dennis Prager. He is a gigantic figure and has millions and millions of views on YouTube.
Oh, okay. I already get the icks.
I've already got the ick.
Given our preoccupation with politics and economics, it is easy to forget for most of us, America wishes still play a greater role in our lives. So here are some thoughts that, as heretical as they might sound, have been found extremely helpful, sometimes even marriage-saving.
Ooh, I don't know about
Is that true? Is that true, Dennis? Is that true?
From listeners on my radio show, which features a male-female hour every.
The subject.
Which is the only time women are ever allowed on the show. It is an axiom of contemporary marital life that if a woman is not in the mood, she need not have sex with her husband.
Based?
Yeah. Yes. Here are some arguments why a woman who loves her husband might want to rethink this axiom.
I feel like he's qualified to talk about this as a woman knower. Let's see. A husband knows that his wife loves him first and foremost by her willingness to give her body to him. Ooh.
Is that?
Yikes. Okay.
Interesting choice of words.
Like, a husband knows that his wife loves him because of her willingness for the body. Okay. I mean, I think, like, personality matters, having meaningful conversations, loving each other. Those are all, like, top tier things. But next time I'll keep this in mind.
This is a major reason many husbands clam up. A man whose wife frequently denies him sex will first be hurt, then sad, then angry, then quiet. A man who is denied sex will go through the 5 stages of grief. And most men will never tell their wives why they become quiet and distant. Please talk to your partners. Please communicate with your partners.
Almost like communication is an important part of any marriage. I don't know.
Man-woman hour.
It's not man-woman hour.
I don't know what man-woman hour could be. I'm kind of scared to like, what could it be according to Dennis Prager?
It's
Like,
just
When a man talks about a woman.
or rather, when a man like talks like about women to other women.
They are afraid to tell their wives. They are often made to feel ashamed of their male sexual nature, and they are humiliated, indeed emasculated, by the feeling of having to beg for sex.
Some coochie, please, madam. Please, some coochie, I beg. Please. Yeah.
Spare coochie.
Dennis, you are down bad, my friend. I'm sorry. Like, whatever situation you're in, bro, we got to get you out of it. Like, yo. He's probably advocating for government-mandated coochie or something. At that point. He's probably one of those people.
He doesn't believe in handouts, actually. That was too much.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Dennis, maybe you should pull yourself up by your bootstraps if you want to get some coochie.
The only government handout he believes in, which is free coochie. Only one.
Universal basic intercourse.
Oh! When first told this about men, women generally react in one or more of 5 ways.
Wait, guys, tag yourself as well.
Tag yourself. Which of Dennis's wives have you reacted like?
And number 1, you have to be kidding. That certainly isn't my way of knowing he loves me. There have to be deeper ways than sex for me to show my husband that I love him.
Dennis, you're almost there. You can see the answer.
Dennis, please listen to your wife.
Listen, when your wife speaks, please listen, Dennis. I'm begging you.
Wife number 1 got it.
Wife number 1, like you're a fan favorite right now. You have it backwards. If you truly love me, you wouldn't expect sex when I'm not in the mood.
Bro, all of these women get it because
They're all saying the same thing too. Right?
Yeah.
It's like these are 5 different ways to react. They're all
it's
Oh,
5 different
okay.
ways to say the same thing.
Grad, you wanna
yeah. Let's do wife number
Yeah.
1.
it's all your
Let's watch Dennis Prager destroy wife number 1 with facts and logic. We're watching the destruction of a marriage in real
Okay,
time.
just to preface this, right? Okay, this is her statement.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I feel like you're not giving wife number 1 like a chance to really speak. Go off, King.
Most common female reaction to hearing about men's sexual nature is often followed by denial. These are extremely understandable reactions. Wow, okay. Given how profoundly different and how seemingly more primitive men's sexual nature is compared to women's.
I don't like
Okay.
how sweeping these statements are about men and women's like natures. I feel like Dennis is just down bad, and he's like, "Oh no, all men are like this. Every man is like this." No, guys.
Not all men.
Dennis said
No, stop. Please, no. Oh, God damn it. Okay, incredulity is certainly the reaction most women have when first being told that a man knows he is loved when his wife gives him her body. How many women have you talked to, Dennis? I'm just curious. The idea that a man she is married to, let alone a man whose intelligence she respects, will, to any serious extent, measure her love of him by such a carnal yardstick strikes many women as absurd and even objectionable. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Ends. Okay.
All right. Okay, Dennis. I'm with you so far. Okay.
You got me, Dennis. Okay. But the question that should matter to a woman who loves her man is not whether or not this preposition speaks poorly or well of male nature. It is whether it is true.
It's not. Okay.
All right, it's over. Next one.
Great.
Well, actually, according to Dennis Prager, every single man is a primitive sex machine. So, you know.
And it is true beyond anything she can imagine. Women dumb.
Margaret.
Women dumb. Bottom text.
A woman who often deprives her husband of her body is guaranteed to injure him and to injure the marriage.
You need help, Dennis. Bro, you're down terrible. Oh my God.
No matter what her female friends have to say, no matter what a sympathetic therapist has to say, Dennis, please listen to your therapist.
Please, the therapist is trying to help you, Dennis. Okay. I'm a man. Let's see if this is true. Very few men will confess to the amount of hurt and eventual anger they experience when repeatedly denied sex. I don't know, Dennis. You're kind of making it pretty clear here. I don't know. I don't know what zero pussy does to a motherfucker, bro. Of course, there are times when a man must simply refrain from initiating sex out of concern for his wife's physical,
Oh
his
my
wife's
God.
or emotional condition, and then there are men for whom sex rarely has anything to do with making love, or whose frequency of demands are excessive. And in this context, what excessive means ought to be determined by the couple before the refusals begin or continue. Yeah, generally yes. But the fact remains, your man knows you love him by your willingness to give him your body.
Oh my God. Oh man, I'm so down bad. If my wife loved me, she'd give me coochie. That's literally what he's saying. That's all he's saying.
Compared to most women's sexual nature, men's sexual nature is far closer to that of an animal. So what?
What?
That is the way he is made. Blame God.
He's like the type of person to go on like some woman's comment section and be like, woof, woof, woof.
Telling your husband to control it is a fine idea. Okay, Dennis, then do it. But but he already does. Every man who is sexually faithful to his wife already engages in daily heroic self-control.
Heroic.
Heroic.
Oh my God. He has married knowing he will have to deny his sexual nature,
Oh my God.
desires for variety for the rest of his life. To ask that, he also regularly denies himself sex with the one woman in the world with whom he is permitted sex and is asking for far too much. Does he not get that, like, the woman also marrying the man is agreeing to do this too? Like, I
don't think he values the opinions of women very highly.
That's fair.
5 women telling him this like won't change his mind. I really don't know. I really don't know what will. I think it's too far gone.
Deny him enough times, and he may try to find this need with another woman. If he is too moral to ever do that, he will match your sexual withdrawal with emotional and other forms of withdrawal.
Okay, like immature shit, like I'm guessing stonewalling or like quiet treatment. That
He's got
bullshit.
like Dennis has like the
Yeah.
biggest victim complex I've ever seen.
From like in the scenario that he's described, he literally has most of the control anyway. So I don't literally painting a target on himself and claiming he's a victim.
He's also telling the world that he gets no puss. Like
That's literally all this. That's the whole like. I think if there's one thing someone will take away from reading this article is, yo, Dennis, you're down bad. That's the one takeaway from this article.
Not my man. Many women will argue, understandably. My husband knows I love him. He doesn't need me to have sex with him to know that. And this is especially so when I'm too tired or just don't want to have sex. Anyways, my man only enjoys sex with me when I'm into it too. Dennis. Dennis.
yeah, many women will say that.
The importance of mutual kindness to a marriage is impossible to overstate. Correct. Based. But while necessary, it is not sufficient.
Okay, so you're saying that people should go above and beyond to please their partners, right?
Right?
Right, Dennis?
Women can understand this by applying the same rule to men. Most women will readily acknowledge that it is certainly not enough for a man to be kind to her. If it were, women would rarely reject kind men as husbands. My man literally made a nice guys finish last argument.
Nice guys finish last.
But as much as a woman wants a kind man, she wants more than that. If a man is, let us say, hypothetically, for the sake of argument, lacking in ambition or just doesn't want to work hard, few women will love him no matter how kind he is. In fact, most women would happily give up some kindness for some hard work and ambition. A kind
Say
man.
that. Like, who the hell are you to say that? I don't know.
Citation? Dennis, I feel like you're just saying shit. I feel like you're just saying something.
I don't see any sources down here, bro. I really don't know.
A kind man with little ambition is not masculine and therefore not desirable to most women.
Do you agree with this?
yeah, of course, 100%.
The second a man shows any kind of kindness, like you just leave him, right?
If you treat me with basic human decency, oh god.
Whatever my man says, I love you. I get so fucking angry.
Likewise, a kind woman who is not sexual with her husband is not feminine. She is a kind roommate. Furthermore, a woman who denies the man she loves sex is not kind.
But what about a man who denies, like, the woman he loves sex? What about that?
A kind woman who is not sexual with her husband is not feminine. If you're not constantly having sex with me, you're not a woman. That's just how it is.
I don't make the rules. I'm sorry.
A woman who denies the man she loves sex is not kind. He's literally just saying, "You're being mean to me.
You're hurting my fifis."
Ma'am, please. I just want some coochie, please. Beg you.
Bro, how many times do you think Dennis Prager has been on his hands and knees begging for coochie?
No matter how down bad a man is, he can never be Dennis Prager down bad. And that is the one solace we have in life. Every rational and decent man knows that there are times when he should not initiate sex.
Correct. Now, Dennis, just extrapolate on that information.
Okay, Dennis. Okay, after this, don't say anything else.
Just stop. And
Stop right there. But to repeat the key point, the rejection of sex should happen infrequently, and it should almost never be dependent on mood.
What?
So what does it depend on? But wait, hold up. Technically, it does depend on mood. It depends on the man's mood.
Oh my God.
Right? Technically. So,
yeah, women should have no input on sex. It should only be me.
Women should be nothing more than just inanimate sex dolls, right? Who can't say no.
The way he frames sex is very telling too, because it's like he gives her body to Dennis, It's not even like, oh, we make love, we have sex. It's you give me your body.
Yeah, I
Which-
didn't think about it like that.
Ugh.
Not an action they do together. It's something he does to her.
His wife has never ever been satisfied. Self-report.
Oh, yeah. This is a wise woman. She knows a sexually fulfilled husband is a happy husband. At the same time, men need to recognize that complete sexual fulfillment is unattainable in this world.
Oh my god.
I'm
You know
so
how
sorry,
fucking-
Miss Prager. I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
Dennis Prager's down tremendous.
And because a happy husband loves his wife more, the cycle of love produces a happy home. 2, she wants him to be a happy husband.
Oh my god. He's like making it like the woman's fault. It's your fault that we're not in a good marriage.
Well, I mean, like, he has something right. I think all of his ex-wives just don't want him to be happy.
In part 2, I advanced the argument that a wife should do so even when she is not in the mood for sexual relations. I'm talking about mood, not times of emotional distress or illness. Sure, why not? Here are 8 reasons for a woman to not... I define the reasons for women to not
Me,
allow
a
sex.
man.
Only I. It is I, the CEO of sex.
If most women wait until they are in the mood before making love with their husband, many women will be waiting a month or more until the next time.
Dennis.
Dennis.
Sorry, Dennis.
I
Oh
don't
my
think your
God.
wives were attracted to you, Dennis.
Dennis.
But for most women, for a myriad of reasons, female nature, childhood trauma, not feeling sexy, being preoccupied with some other problem, fatigue after a day with the children and other work, and just not being interested. There is little comparable to a man's out of nowhere and seemingly constant desire for sex.
Honestly, I'm just imagining like he's. Oh, what's that, honey? You're having a PTSD episode? Too bad. Too bad. What's that, sweetie? You're taking care of the kids, and there's literally no way, and you're extremely busy. No, sex now. Dennis, has your wife never ever said "I love you"? Dennis, have you ever held your wife's hand?
He doesn't make eye contact. That's too much intimacy for him.
The only contact with his wife is just sex, and nothing else.
Yeah, just coerced sex.
Yeah, if it's like a consensual, that it doesn't do it for him. It ruins the mood if it's consensual.
Immediately turn off.
Turn off. It's just the most loveless, vitriolic marriage I've ever seen.
He just wants a sex slave.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. He just wants a sex robot at this point.
Dennis, I don't think you understand. These are feelings. These are not facts.
I think if you understand, Dennis has never felt a single feeling in his entire life.
Dennis has only ever had
been
facts.
governed by logic and 100% rational thinking. He's never been emotional once in his entire life.
To many women, especially among the best educated, the notion that a woman owes her husband sex seems absurd. It's almost like these women are smart and know what the fuck they're talking about. They have been taught that such a sense of obligation renders her property. Of course, the very fact that she can always say no and this no must be honored renders the property argument absurd. Huh?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but his entire point is like he doesn't want her to be able to say no. So what's he trying to say here?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
A woman is not property when she feels she owes her husband conjugal. Oh my god.
Yeah, so once she feels like it, like sure, right? But
She is simply wise
to
enough to recognize that marriages are based on mutual obligations as opposed to her rights alone, and certainly opposed to moods.
What you're
God.
saying is you want the right to have coochie. That's what you're saying.
What he's saying is no. This isn't sexual slavery because she has sex whenever I say we have sex. No. She just recognizes that I'm horny, so therefore we're participating in a marriage where we have equal input. This dude.
Equal input, except that like she's not allowed to say anything.
Yeah, she's not my sex slave. She just recognizes that I want sex right now, and that's what a good wife would do. That's what he's saying. That's exactly what he's saying.
This is deranged. Like there's a saying that if you try to rationalize everything, like you can rationalize the worst injustices, and it'll still make sense to you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's literally what this is. Like what the is that? Even if the roles are inversed, or reversed, she is in the mood for sex and he is not, our sympathies go again to the woman and her feelings.
What is he talking about?
Says who?
What?
What? Like he's saying this as if it's like objective fact.
Yeah.
He's saying it as if this is an uncontroversial statement. That's what he's framing it as. Like, no, this is it's extremely debatable.
I think we should invite Dennis and have him.
Dennis, this is a call to action. Please come on the Darnell Has Left YouTube channel.
I mean, he's also saying that the men are just, I don't know, that men wanting sex is way more important, period, than women wanting sex.
And that men wanting sex is more important than women not wanting sex. He doesn't care for a consensual relationship. Dennis Prager doesn't want consent. That's what I'm hearing.
The biggest red flag when she consents.
Ew, huge turnoff. Disgusting.
Many contemporary women have an almost exclusively romantic notion of sex. It should always be mutually desired and equally satisfying, or one should not engage in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dumb women. Like
Consent and mutual gratification in sex is important.
That's literally the whole point of it. But
Yeah.
besides making children, that's like the point of it. So
Yeah.
I don't,
Therefore, if a couple engages in sexual relations when he wants it and she does not, the act is dehumanizing and mechanical.
Yeah.
yeah.
yes, it is.
Yeah, because you're treating your wife like she's property.
Treating like your wife like she isn't a human and like her input doesn't matter whatsoever.
He's
By
literally-
this logic,
Mhm.
if he was more romantic to his wife, she would not be denying him sex. Just put in that like bare minimum effort and see how much like things change for you.
Fellas, put in the bare minimum. And this is literally saying, yeah, you fake it till you make it with confidence. Why not fake it till you make it with consensual sex?
It's like literally, like don't ever let your feelings be authentic ever.
The best solution to the problem of a wife not being in the mood is so simple that many women, after thinking about it, react with profound regret that they had not thought about it earlier in the marriage.
He's right. He's so right.
As one bright and attractive woman in her 50s ruefully said to me, had I known this while I was married, he would never have divorced
He
me.
never would have divorced. Not me. He wouldn't have divorced me if I had known this.
It's her fault that her husband didn't communicate his feelings ever. Bro, okay,
That
my bad.
solution is for a wife who loves her husband. If she doesn't love him, mood is not the problem. To be guided by her mind, not her mood, in deciding whether to deny her husband sex. You.
Sex is apparently 100% logical and rational. There is no emotion involved whatsoever in sex at all. Whenever you have sex, it should look like two machines like bumping against each other, back and forth, back and forth.
He's literally making that argument that like 16-year-old in high school make, where it's like, oh, if you really loved me, you'd put out. He's literally making that argument.
If you really loved me, you would like go by my every single whim.
The problem that he's like glancing over, that we're all glancing over, is that his wife doesn't love him. Like, that is
Yeah, this is written over the course of like 12 years and 8 different breakups.
These are the words of a bitter, broken-hearted, desperate man. He looks happy in his eyes, but behind that smile is like this deep sadness that no other man on this world has felt.
if you act happy, you will be happier.
As a bitter and down cataclysmic man once said, if her husband is a decent man, if he is not, nothing written here applies. A woman will be rewarded many times over outside the bedroom, and if her man is smart, inside the bedroom as well. With a happy, open, grateful, loving, and faithful husband, that is a prospect that should get any rational woman in the mood more often.
Doing the bare fucking minimum.
Yeah, he's legit saying, if you're a smart woman, you should comply by all of my demands, always.
If you're a smart woman, you should just settle for the first guy you meet and go with his every whim.
Because that's what a kind woman would do. You're a kind and smart woman, aren't you? Follow all of my orders. So thank you, Greta, for spending this time with me and just for allowing me to torture you, I guess. Thank you for sharing in pain with me.
So this is what unpaid emotional labor feels like, huh?
Thank you, FaZe and Greta.
No problem, dude. Never do this again, please.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to trauma dump.
Thank you for allowing us to see the ramblings of a bitter and broken man. Yeah.
We watched the destruction. I'm just like the worst man.
Like, if a worse man than this exists, then I'll have to see it to believe it, bro. I don't know.